Rise and shine, everybody. Top of the morning. It's a new day. James E. Walker, man of many hats, artist of many acts. And I figure I'd get my day started with my daily walk and continue working on my vlogging episodes. Hey, what's up? It's James E. Walker, man of many hats, artist of many acts, designer, artist, and illustrator. A whole lot of y'all know what it is. But hey, man, I figure I'd talk about why I actually started vlogging, what this vlog is about. So for those that know me, I go by the man of many hats, artist of many acts, designer, artist, and illustrator. Now that original tagline actually started when I was working on music. There was a point in my career where I was mainly focused on being a rapper, songwriter, recording artist, engineer, producer, and a few other things.
Coming to the stage, the one, the only, Jay Walker. She want me to beat it till the hands start crying. Wanna do the next when the nigga inside.
This is before I started taking my design and art career seriously. It wasn't until I quit my job to do music and I felt the need to get more involved with the art direction of my career that I started doing my own artwork. I wonder if I want to go this way. I might switch up my route today just because there's so much sun beaming from that direction, give me a little shade to give my video the mood and character that I want. So started getting involved with handling my own art direction and vision for my music career, and things just kind of took off. Over the years, I've slowed down on the amount of music that I put out, and I just basically reinvented myself to start expressing myself in other forms other than just music. And I also find myself valuable, having a valuable skill and craft that actually add values to other people's brand. Never imagined things taking off the way they did, but they did, so I'm thankful for that. I've always wanted to actually vlog before I even knew what vlogging was. I actually enjoy the editing process. I would say it's a serious hobby for me. I've always enjoyed editing. Like I used to want to direct my own music videos just because I felt like it was challenging for me to know how to explain or communicate the vision or the ideas that I had to filmmakers, just like I had a difficult time explaining or communicating with producers or engineers the sound that I wanted. So I started doing my own music production and sound engineering. I actually took a few video courses in college. I had to edit my first video ever. That experience allowed me to see that I did have a knack and a love for not only just the editing process, but also the writing part, the screenplay and the treatment writing. I remember spending about 2 back-to-back 12, 14, maybe 18-hour days just editing. And I was just so fascinated with the whole transitions that I was really editing like an amateur because I was using every every transition redundantly, inconsistently. But long story short, my whole purpose for vlogging is to start sharing my process and showing people just my natural love for creativity. It's always been a challenge for me to pick one thing to focus on. It's always been a challenge for me to sometimes having multiple interests. What's the quote? Jack of all trades, master of none. I never liked that quote in regards to me. I knew that I was naturally gifted at doing a lot of things. Hey Ray, that was my neighbor. I didn't want to fall into the box of being a jack of all trades and never mastering anything. There's been times and seasons throughout my life that I actually had to put some of the things that I may have lost interest in down to start honing and building up my 10,000 hours or more in some of these other things, or just realizing that until I form a partnership or a team, if that's to come, until then, I have to learn the craft. I have to learn every aspect of the business as an entrepreneur, what I should be doing, so that I know the right people to hire. I know the right people to delegate the tasks that I need done. And there will be a mutual respect for these people that I hire or these people that I collaborate, because I wouldn't just be the entrepreneur, the CEO that's just ordering people to do things. I would actually be one that's walked that life, every aspect, from cleaning the toilets to sweeping the floors, all the way to executive producing. I had to learn things from the beginning. I take pride in just learning, and it's something I probably do not know anything about today. And in a matter of maybe 8 hours to 24 hours, it's almost like I've rebuilt a whole new man. I've rebuilt a whole new character, or android, or Frankenstein, you know, just from having the discipline to go there, to learn things, to be willing to do whatever it takes to get the ideas out of my head. I'm willing to work just that hard. I love when people tell me that it's something that I can't do. The fact that I am a lot more disciplined than the average person, I could pull it off. I think I just have a natural respect for the craft of things that everyone does, so I can't just do stuff in a whack way. I still have a level of integrity and respect. The whole Man in Many Hats journey is about sharing my journey with the world to realize that you can do many things if you work in seasons, and you can master these things. You can work on a project, and once that project is completed, you can move on to something totally different. I realize in life there is no how-to book on the shelf that says how to succeed for the art of James E. Walker, or the real J. Walker, or James E. Walker. There is no how-to book. And I love reading. I've stood on the shoulders of many giants and acquired many mentors through books and videos and inspirational quotes. But I still have to use my own mind. I have that responsibility. I have that opportunity to use my own mind and not get too caught up in everything that I read, everything that I watch. I have to continue to think for self. I have to take everything with a grain of salt and compare and contrast and find out what works. I love reading about other people's stories. And the more I would read about different people's stories and find out how fascinating they were, I realized that also that I haven't discovered my voice yet. I haven't figured out what my story is. I have a lot of stories, but they're more so like mini episodes, all two different shows that don't make up a whole season of anything. And so that's mainly what I want this channel to be. And I just want to put this out there. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the fuck I be doing a lot of the time. Us as creatives, especially when we've reached levels of success in our career, a lot of times we try to act like we knew exactly what we were doing. We try to act like we're so genius, which I gotta say, I do feel like I am a genius. But if the world don't feel like that, I'm just thinking for myself, that's cool, and I could think I'm a genius. Have I proved myself as a thought leader or as an influencer that succeeded in many things? I'm enjoying the fact that I don't always know what I'm doing. Half of the time when people's telling me not to do something or that won't work because I've never done it, that just fuels the fire. I enjoy the process of not knowing what the hell I'm doing. That's what keeps me thinking like a child. That's what keeps me excited. That's what gives me a challenge out here. I'm not making any commitments in turn. Well, I take that back. I probably should make some commitments. How often I'm going to be vlogging? I was just taking a course last night, and it says that you should actually make a schedule in terms of the days that you're going to release videos, the frequency, the topic. These are things to think about. I had to show people that I'm vulnerable enough and I'm humble enough to just jump out here, man, and just start doing it, not stop making excuses. So I think May the 8th was the first video I dropped. I dropped it on Instagram, so I started working upon these 60 seconds or less jewel drop of the days. And you know, I love words. I'm always coming up with words and catchphrases. And jewel drop of the day just seemed like it would be a nice playlist for me. I have so many other things to talk about, so many other things to share. Yeah. Y'all stay tuned on my journey, man. And I'm also challenging you all to challenge me with topics. If it's something that I do, you want to know how I put it together, leave a comment as to some of the courses that you all would like for me to teach. I have one class on Skillshare, the art of logo design for non-designers, and I want to be more consistent. So I'm talking to you all to hold me accountable in terms of the courses that you might want to learn, and the techniques that you might want to learn, or some of the topics that you probably just want to get my take on and hear my voice on when it comes down to art, design, music, printmaking, or just hearing what I have to say just as a human being, a person that just sits around and thinks about, you know, creating all damn day. That's all I got for today, man. If you like what you've been seeing in terms of my journey, or something that I say in my video sparks you to hit that like button at the bottom, be sure to subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.